Welcome to a session in which we will discuss market size and market share. We looked at the 4C plus E business viability framework, which allows an entrepreneur to take a step-by-step approach to check if a business idea is practical or not. You may remember that the first step helps in thinking about the likely customers and likely competitors for the products or services that the business is considering. As part of this first step, once we identify potential customers and their needs, we then need to understand and answer two questions before we start a business or plan to grow it. The first question is, are there enough potential customers in the market? We call this market size. The second question is, can I sell to enough of these potential customers so that it is worth doing this business? This is called market share. In this session, we will understand the two concepts of market size and market share. Market size represents the number of customers who may possibly buy the product or service sold by businesses like ours. The market size needs to be limited to a realistic number of customers within a specific geographical area. For example, if we are talking about opening a barber shop in our village, then market size is defined by the number of people in our village who would use the services of the barber shop to have a haircut or a shave. The market size would not include the people from neighboring villages, as they are likely to visit a local barber in their own village. Let's take another example, and this time we will do some simple calculations to understand market share. There is a lady whose name is Namita. She is considering starting a beauty parlor in her village. Here is how she will calculate the size of the market. She knows that there are approximately 1,200 households in the village. Namita estimates that most of these households will have on an average 2 female family members. So, there are about 2,400 females in the village. But about 50% of these are likely to be small girls. Also, about 25% are likely to be elderly ladies. We know that neither the small girls nor the elderly ladies are likely to be Namita's customers. That means the remaining ladies, which are about 600 women and college going girls, are likely to use a beauty parlor. Hence, Namita's estimate of market size is about 600. We expressed market size in terms of people, but for a business, it is often better to convert this size into money. For us to do that, we have to think about the behavior of potential customers. Different customers may buy a product or service at different intervals, such as daily, weekly, monthly, etc. They will also buy different quantities. When we multiply market size by the number of purchases in a period and then by the average amount of money spent in each purchase, we get the money value of the market size. Let's do that for Namita's beauty parlor idea. Namita estimated that the market size was 600, but not every one of these potential customers is going to use the beauty parlor and buy services every day of the year. So, Namita makes a set of reasonable assumptions. She reasons out that in each visit, a potential customer is likely to spend about Rs 100 on an average. The beauty parlor services will be in great demand during festivals and wedding seasons. So, Namita further assumes that each of the 600 potential customers are likely to make 4 visits to the beauty parlor in a year. 2 of such visits are likely to be during major festivals, while 2 visits will be during weddings which they would attend. Thus, each potential customer is likely to spend about Rs 400 on beauty parlor services. Hence, the money value of the market size is 600 multiplied by 400, which is equal to 2.4 lakhs for the year. But can Namita assume that all these 600 potential customers will come only to her? No, that is an unrealistic assumption. her business is likely to have competition. Hence, Namita can't assume that the full money value of the market size will be the revenues of her business. Her competitors will be trying to take some customers away. Also, if there were other beauty parlors in the village even before Namita starts her business, then most customers in the village are already using the competitor's services. Hence, she must estimate what share of the overall market size her business would be able to attract. This share of the market size is called market share. Let's assume that there are already 2 existing beauty parlor businesses in the village. When Namita starts her business, she must accept that it will take time to grow the number of customers. Perhaps in the first year, her business will be able to attract about 150 customers. If she is able to consistently offer good service, she may be able to grow the number of customers to say 200 by the end of the second year and also retain her prior customers. Now, for an entrepreneur, market share represents the number of customers out of the total market size number who may possibly buy products or services sold by her business. Thus, we can say that Namita's market share at the end of the first year would be 150 divided by 600, which is 25%. Her market share may go up at the end of the second year to 200 divided by 600, which is 33%. These market shares will translate to a money value of rupees 60,000 in the first year and a money value of rupees 80,000 in the second year. Hence, these estimates of market size and market share and their corresponding money values will help Namita set her own expectations of how much revenue the business is likely to generate. It will also help her estimate the profits she is likely to make after taking into the various costs in her business. After that, she can then decide if it is worth starting this business. We took an example of a service business to understand the concepts of market size and market share. A similar approach can be taken to estimate the 2 parameters for production business as well as trading business. Let's take an example for a trading business. Kangu would like to start a grocery shop in her village. So, while estimating the market size for a grocery shop, she can consider the number of households in the village. Kangu can then estimate how much money each household spends on an average on groceries. If there are 1000 households in a village and each is likely to spend rupees 300 per month, then the monthly money value of the market size will be about rupees 3 lakhs. That means an annual money value of the market size will be about rupees 36 lakhs. If there are already 5 grocery shops in the village before Kangu starts her business, then it is reasonable to assume that she will get 1/6 of that market size. So, her market share will be about 6 lakhs per year. After she takes into account the costs, she can estimate the expected profit and then decide if it is worth starting this business. One important point should be made here. We usually divide the market size by the total number of competing businesses, which includes the entrepreneur's own business. This is a reasonable approach which assumes that the market size will be equally distributed among all the competing businesses. However, it is possible to be better than competition and hence get a larger share of the market size for the business. To summarize, market size represents the number of customers who may possibly buy the product or service sold by businesses like ours. To estimate a realistic market size, we consider the number of customers within a specific geographical area in which the business is located. For an entrepreneur, market share represents the number of customers out of the total market size number who may possibly buy products or services sold by her business. Because of competition in the market share of a business is significantly smaller than the market size. It is possible for a business to increase market share by selling better products or services than competitors' businesses. That, in a nutshell, is about market size and market share.